41 business minds receiving assistance through the government small business grant. BUT officials giving a report card on the reopening of the school term. And there is a new Miss Grand Bahama.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Wolfarkas, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, Grand Bahama Micro and Small Business Economic Entrepreneurial Empowerment Initiative, helping more than 41 persons to realize their dream of business ownership. A partnership between the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, providing applicants of the government grant with funding and mentorship as well. A total of 41 aspiring business owners and entrepreneurs with a desire to expand or start their businesses, receiving up to $5,000 in the government grant. Minister for Agriculture, the Honorable Michael Pintar, telling the successful applicants that they play a vital role in the revitalization of the Grand Bahama economy.
From its inception, this program was designed to fill certain gaps in the economy in Grand Bahama. When we had the discussion, the idea was, how do we assist persons in becoming drivers in particular areas where at the moment we have some challenges and some deficits? The idea is not just to look beyond the horizon for opportunities, but to ask what opportunities exist right now, and we need the right set of persons who have some resources to get started to fill those gaps. And so a program was designed with persons like you, with your spirit, with your drive, with your ingenuity in mind. And it's been an honor to collaborate with the Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, who's absolutely committed to the empowerment of young and those that are younger, longer in the Bahamas.
Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, adding that the small businesses are the economic engine for this country. He notes that while the financial part of this program is important, he cautioned them to take full advantage of the business mentorship program as well.
The same way that you are excited about getting your grant, I want you to also be excited behind getting your business mentorship. In a lot of ways, the mentorship is just as important, or in some cases even more important, than giving you the grant funds. So we want you to move on to this next stage, which is the mentorship stage, and the Chamber of Commerce is going to provide you with all the necessary assistance. We also want to thank our partners from the Grand Bahama Port Authority. And for those businesses who are new businesses, those who are the self-starter businesses that Minister Pintard just spoke to, in addition to your grant, in addition to your training, and in addition to your mentorship, the Grand Bahama Port Authority will also be giving you business license exemption for your first year.
These successful applicants are lauding the government for believing in them and giving them the opportunity to fulfill their dreams.
I'm very excited about it. It shows me that the government is trying its hardest and its best to help small business persons, entrepreneurs who would like to open their own business. It shows me that they're behind us and doing all they can to help us get started.
It shows that we are moving forward for empowering entrepreneurs on Grand Bahama, and I'm just so excited about it.
It's very hard to start what you something you're passionate about, and I'm so appreciative of the government for having this program that gives people like myself an opportunity to go forth with your passion and to create something that will enhance the community of Grand Bahama.
With the government actually offering this grant, it shows that they actually believe in young entrepreneurs and them being capable of running a successful business. So I appreciate it. It was an opportunity that I took advantage of, and I only plan on being successful at the end of the day.
In other news, the Bahamas Union of Teachers is giving an assessment of the operations of public schools on Grand Bahama. The new school term began on Monday, and BUT says so far there has been a few challenges. Megan Shepard reports.
As is tradition before the beginning of each school year, Ministry of Education officials, along with the Bahamas Union of Teachers, tour schools across the island to assess their state of readiness. Area Vice President of the BUT, Quintin LaRota, says that he appreciates the fact that the ministry advised the union that 2 schools were not ready for the September 3rd opening. But it is even better news that both schools were able to open after all.
I have a meeting with the 2 superintendents tomorrow where I will articulate those other concerns. But I would say that none of the concerns amounted to where school could not open. Even though they had to do some adjustments in the interim, I suspect that within a week and a half, Walter Parker and Martintown should be completed. And then thereafter, the full use of the campus.
LaRota says that another issue is the disproportionate number of students in each school. He says that although parents may have a preference to where they want to send their children, he says it is in their best interest to adhere to school zonings. He notes that the aim is to not overburden certain staff and administrations.
We have enough rooms to accommodate the amount of students, but there's a disproportionate enrollment at several schools. For instance, Sister Mary Junior School is pushed into the seams with students, and St. George's have a disproportionately high amount of students compared to Jack Hayward High School, and so we'll have to look at that going forward. I think once the junior school in the west is completed, those students that leave 8 Mile Rock and West End to come to school in the Freeport area will stay down in the west, and I think that'll help to alleviate some of that. If you are a parent, and I guess the school year has already begun, but going into the next school year, you could look at the schools, smaller classroom sizes assist in education.
As the government and private sector continue to work to enhance the economy of Grand Bahama, he says he believes that the current state is a part of the burden on government schools, noting that if more parents could enroll their children in private schools, that would help alleviate the numbers in government schools.
I also would think that some of the schools in Grand Bahama may need some assistance with funding. We traditionally, a lot of schools' activities are paid for by tuck shop funds. But when the economy is down, kids don't have the money to spend, and they rely even more on social services for the lunch programs and so forth. So the school isn't generating the kind of funding that they used to. And so they may need more assistance from central government in certain areas with school board and so forth.
In more positive news, LaRota says that the union's district officials and the Ministry of Education is having a much better working relationship this school year, especially for the betterment of its members. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, it has been undoubtedly a rough and sad beginning of the school year at the Jack Hayward High School. On Sunday, September 2nd, 2 senior students lost their lives in a tragic electrocution incident, and just days later, a beloved teacher lost her battle with cancer. Area Vice President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Quintin LaRota, notes that unfortunately last school year ended with several deaths, and now this tragic beginning. He's offering condolences.
Personal connection with all of those people. And then Miss Stephanie Lewis Higgins, who I think I had even more of a personal relationship with. She passed. She and I taught science together at Jack Hayward High. And then she moved into the cosmetology department. And beyond that, we were friends from 10th grade at Hawksville High School. We went to college together, ate lunch together at COB and at Jack. It was so, she was a tremendous educator, a person of impeccable quality and character. And she's going to be missed from the Hawksville family to the Jack Hayward family, and of course, her personal family.
Now, LaRota is asking the entire community to keep the Jack Hayward family and all students and staff across the island in their prayers.
My biggest thing every year is I pray that when we come back to school, that everything is well. And so I'm going to ask the community to pray for our schools, pray for our teachers, pray for our students. We don't know where challenges is we don't know what that is, but there's prayer changes things. There's comfort in prayer, and there's a sense of binding together when we all go before our God and ask for His mercies and His blessings.
In other news, Ruth Nell Technical Institute, formerly known as Total Educational Center, is preparing for the official start of the new school year. The Technical and Vocational Center is committed to training tomorrow's workforce. Jay Philippe has more.
In an effort to adequately prepare residents to facilitate the needs of the industrial workforce and society generally, Ruth Nell Technical Institute has designed and introduced a number of exciting, challenging, and affordable technical programs preparing residents for the workforce.
Ruth Nell Technical Institute is officially registered with the National Accreditation and Equivalency Council of the Bahamas to offer the following technical certificate programs for industry: auto service technology, cosmetology and barbering, carpentry and construction technology, modern diesel technology, electrical systems technology, digital electronics, heavy equipment operation, air conditioning, refrigeration, and welding.
Principal of Ruth Nell Technical Institute, Shani Bowes, says that students will continue to study towards both the pre-technology training certificate as well as the high school diploma.
This means that they will take both technical vocational courses such as agriculture, welding, electronics, carpentry, office procedures, hospitality, cosmetology, in addition to their general academic courses, which will qualify them for the high school diploma in accordance with the Ministry of Education standard for the achievement of high school diplomas in the Bahamas.
September 10th will mark the first day of the new school year. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Jay Philippe.
Now, the training center will hold Community Awareness and Job Registration Day at its Hawksville campus tomorrow, and that's from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.